mind if we did group one and we won't get to you till next class? Is that all right? Okay. We'll probably get one group in for today and then we'll finish the rest on Tuesday. So make sure you hang on to your notes and review. So group one. Yeah, you can stand there. Can I just put the mic down? The intimidating mic. Okay.
So we had intelligence and
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Susan.
I'm Shmaya.
I'm Giselle.
I'm Erin. I'm Laura.
So a disability is an inability to do something specific as in walk, see, pronounce words.
Okay. When a handicap or being handicapped is a disadvantage in certain situations, such as a blind person, or when you're blind, you cannot drive a car because of that specific reason. There are more handicaps than just being blind. It could be not being able to hear to where you have to use other modes of talking, such as sign language.
Person first language, it's like a handicap doesn't define a person, so like when you're talking to someone, you shouldn't use their disability and then say what they are. So like you would say students with learning disabilities, not learning disabled students, or like an epileptic is a student with epilepsy. And so you put them first and then their situation. So you want to talk about them as a person because that comes first, and then what they might have.
Yeah, a great example in the book was a picture. It was like it basically like it was a conversation between like me and like someone who is disabled, so like the person who's disabled. And instead of like me referring to them, I referred to the person who's helping them, which is something wrong to do. So I just thought that was interesting. And then so labels, there's like advantages and disadvantages. And advantages are like opportunities and strategies, and disadvantages, it basically makes people feel like, oh, like I can't do this because of my disadvantages, or yeah.
So what would be some opportunities that you think it's an advantage to having those labels?
They open up like certain programs for them, and like they can get funding to get more research done and stuff like that. It helps them. It can help them along the way without prohibiting them.
Or like
Right.
someone who can only hear and they can't see, they'll be able to reconstruct music better.
Absolutely. And you're right, in schools are mandated, and we'll get into the IDEA Act, but are mandated to provide the opportunities for anyone who has a handicapping condition with a label.
And then intelligence, the ability to reason deductively or inductively think, abstractly use analyses, synthesize information and apply it to new domains. That's more of like a general definition, because like everyone has like their own intelligence. It just depends on like your strengths and weaknesses and how you apply it to different things in life. And the one quote we put is, everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life thinking that it's stupid.
I like that quote. Explain that in terms of helping the child understand.
So like a fish, like obviously like it swims in water, like it doesn't live on the physical land, but it can do, like it has different things that it can do like strongly compared to this.
Everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses.
Right. So when we talked about, and I know when you'll get into the multiple intelligence worksheet, we talk about the strengths that we possess as individuals, and that we can help others with developing those strengths also. And it doesn't mean that just because you're musical that you have no strengths in other areas. That you develop those strengths by using the strength to encourage more of your auditory and your visual skills and your spatial skills. So good job. Anybody have questions with them? Think about the definition of intelligence. Did anybody ever feel intimidated by using the word intelligence? Did anybody ever say anything to you that made you feel uncomfortable with using intelligence towards determining your levels? Can you think of any examples in school where they might discuss intelligences with students?
Well, I don't know if like this is a way, but I remember like in elementary, you don't start using the word intelligent like I don't know, in like first grade or second grade. You use smart. So then so like let's say the teacher called me smart, and so I'm like, oh yeah, I'm smart, and then the teacher ends up like in third grade calling someone else intelligent, and it's like, well, like am I smart or
Right,
is that the same?
okay, yes it is, discrimination between the meaning of those two words. Because we're going to get into later in the chapter defining and looking at GT and how the determination of who is a GT student versus who has an average intelligence or a gifted intelligence along that spectrum, and how it makes others feel when you use those terms like that. Right.
I also think of it too, like in high school, like whoever has the highest grade or the
Ah.
GPA, they're
Mhm.
more intelligent. So if you have lower grades, like, oh, you're not intelligent.
Right. And is
You
that
are.
true? No.
Like AP students and like honor students.
Right.
It's like definitely like a line in between.
So do you think using the word intelligence is a discriminatory word towards your students? Sometimes, and how it's used, yes. Yes. Exactly. So being mindful of that, and just as you described, your feelings towards using that word intelligence can either bring back negative feelings for you or positive feelings, depending on how you were exposed to it. And years ago, we used to administer IQ tests on a regular basis. And I don't know if it's your group, did anyone, your group, I think, did an IQ test. And I won't give away that information, of why we're not using those cognitive IQ tests. But I want you to think of intelligences going back to cognitive thinking. That's what I want you as a teacher to think about in your classroom. Cognitive thinking levels, because you're going to have various levels. Good job, group one. Okay, we'll start with group 2 and finish with 3 and 4, and I will do the IDEA part. So please finish reading the rest of the chapter from pages 139 to the rest. Be prepared, we'll cover that the rest of the class, and do your chapter 4 on Edmodo. Have a good weekend.